So tell me why stop.
Broadcasting live from the Kiss Gower Law Studios. Get the power of Gower. GowerLaw.com. Kiss 107.1 is WTLC Saginaw with Steve Harvey in the morning.
Mornings can't get no better. It's the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
And simply the best R&B all day.
Y'all be jamming.
Listen live on your smartphone, in your car, at work, or live at KissWTLZ.com. We're Kiss 107.1.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on this show by the host, its guest, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its owners, connoisseur media, or its advertisers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. So glad to have you with me for this hour of conversation. It has been a doozy of a past couple of weeks, but I'm certainly glad that we have been able to weather the storm. Shout out once again to my dear Aunt Dorothy Burns. We laid her to rest on yesterday, and she had such a beautiful homegoing celebration. Full of love and light and family and friends who are sharing all of their deepest sentiments. So I want to thank many of you out there who have sent me your condolences and well wishes. And I just want to say thank you. It's in those hard times that we need each other. We need family who's able to be connected and stay there for us when things get rough. I want to give a shout out to, looks like Kaya Rogers. Kia Rogers, whatever your name is, I'm not sure. Sorry if I got it wrong. Let's go. Very active with the best radio station, Kiss 107.1 FM. Thank you so very much. I am in the studio today, and I just want to give I want everyone to know today we're going to have a conversation. Our community is very interesting. There's two things that I really want to talk about, and what's on my mind is coming up next. But I do want to have a conversation and just kind of talk about building community alliances, collaboration, building community confidence, how we do that, and how we are successful. It's interesting because what's interesting about Black folk is that we have to like one another in order to work together. And if we don't, we can't get it done. When other folks and in other communities, they don't have to like each other. If it's about that business, if it's about getting that money, if it's about making something happen, they don't have to like each other to make great things happen. And so we need to kind of narrow some things out, work on some things. Let's put our feelings and emotions aside in order to make great things happen in the community. All right, so that is one thing. But then also, I'm going to bring in into the video stream Miss Amaya Bradley. She's been out there. She always comes in with a little bit of inspiration and light. We're going to get to her in just a minute, but I want to just talk a little bit about what's on my mind is this whole Ojibwe Island thing. That is one thing that has been consistently on my mind. I haven't had time to really lean into it the way that I wanted to because so many things are going on. But shout out to my producer, Matthew, aka White Soul. What's good, Matt?
Hey, what up, Doe? How are you doing today?
Man, I am good. What up, Doe? I'm good. Just ready, man. I am ready to really, there's a lot that's getting ready, that's on the surface, that's getting ready to happen. And I am just ready to make some great things happen in this place. So, and we're going to talk about, girl, you make things happen, right? But I want to talk about, and you all let me know, I know my brother Jeff is not out there yet. This whole conversation with Ojibwe Island has taken on a light of its own. To be honest, I have not been able to keep up with all of the changes and the things that have happened as it relates to Ojibwe Island. I do know as a kid growing up, Ojibwe Island was one of those places that we would go to when we had family picnics out there, and they would have events, and we would go to the playground that used to exist out there, and just play fish and all of that other stuff that we used to do. it was a green space. And what's important about green spaces in our community is that we don't have enough of them. We need to be able to get back to the time when kids were able to play outside. They were able to have a good time. They were able to enjoy the weather. They were more fit because they were more active. We've moved into a space where everything is technology. It is about video games. It is about social media. It's about being online. And we allow our lives to be guarded and run by these digital devices. And sometimes I ask myself, what in the world did we do before we had all of these devices? But I'll tell you what we did. We enjoyed ourselves. We stayed connected in ways that were more meaningful. Then we weren't concerned about broadcasting to worlds and whole communities. We were concerned about one-on-one interaction with each other. And I long for a day when we recognize, all of us realize that, that intimate connection, that intimate touch, the velvet stroke of your voice that you hear, the texture of your voice when we're in person is such a vital part of where we are. I want to ask a quick question, because you and my producer, Matt, this is the only world that you all are really privy to. When you guys hear me say, I talk about a time when we didn't use cell phones, when we actually went to parks and we actually played board games. And I know we're kind of doing a revival of board games right now. Yeah. We try to do that. We try in working with our young people to bring in games and board games. So we do a little bit of that. But when you hear me say that, what comes to mind, or what do you think about?
Actually, growing up, I didn't really use technology like that. So this whole world of people like using technology all the time, I look at like my little cousins. I'm like, y'all don't even know what it was like to just climb up a tree.
Did you climb trees, Amaya? Come on.
I did actually.
Okay, because you are part of. You were probably coming into the scene on the verge of this whole social media craze. Yeah. But this is your world. This is very much, you are part of this space.
More so when I hit like middle school, high school is when social
the transition.
Media, but when I was in elementary school, I had an uncle that always took us everywhere though. Like he was our babysitter. When we got out of school, he would take us to the park. We stayed at Ojibwe Island. So all this stuff that's going on, like we used to walk our dog out there and everything. So I'm like, I feel bad for the kids that don't even have that privilege to do that. So.
I've seen reopen Ojibwe shirts. I've seen the commentary. Matt, were you going to say something?
Ooh, that's very loud. So I guess in the sense that I wasn't able to like freely use technology until about high school. So like I didn't have a phone until about 8th grade. I we had to go outside and play. Me and my friends, we rode our bikes around everywhere, and didn't exactly tell our parents exactly where we were going truthfully every time, but that type of thing. We rode the streets and went out and had fun. And
yes. Yeah. Yes. I remember they would say, don't go off the street. And I was like, okay, they meant the street that was on a couple blocks that were in front of the house, but we lived on a long street. We all the way in Bay City, not going off the street. But that was a part of the fun, when it would rain after the rains, going and jumping across the ditches and just curveball and all of the stuff, red light, green light in the middle of the street. All of the tag. Remember the late night games of tag running through the.
See, that's what I can't speak on. Like when you were talking about us speaking on social media, we still, even when I was in high school, they would tell us, "Hey, don't be outside too late." And I'll be like, "Hey, y'all want to go outside? We go ride our bike."
Yeah. Like, we respected the street lights. Everybody understands the street light code. When the street light it's time to go in the house. Yeah. All right, but just this generation not understanding the importance of green spaces. Historically, Black communities have not had the privilege of of green spaces. When I think about and we talked about this on the show before, when I think about Seneca Valley, I believe is what it was called, in New York City, where Central Park is. That was a thriving Black community, and the Upper East Side and Upper West Side folk were like, "Hey, we need green spaces," and so they literally through the process of eminent domain, took the land where there were Black businesses, Black homes, and communities and streets, and turned it into a park because they needed green spaces. What's interesting is that many folk who are affluent understand the value of green spaces. And so if they understand that value, it seems that those spaces are either not well cared for in communities of color, or they just do not receive the funding. I remember growing up and going to play basketball, and you knew which parks you could go to. That if you went there, you're gonna play ball. And we played on the asphalt. So, we playing basketball, and we would drive around the city looking for a good pickup game because that's just how we had it. We were ballers, right? And so we would go out there and we would ball. Like with adults, we would be balling. But some parks, we knew that when we would go there, we would have to bring our own nets because there would never be a net on there. Now, that may be for a number of reasons, which we're not going to get into. But the fact of the matter is, when we go to certain courts, we knew to go have good nets. We know that the court was going to be painted or stained so they wouldn't be slippery. All of those things were so prevalent. So when we look at Ojibwe Island is iconic for, especially on Sundays, Sunday evenings. It is a place where people would go and you would hang out. You could go out there and see the entire city, especially younger folk on Ojibwe on Sunday evenings. And I remember my parents, not my grandparents, but my parents, my mom and my dad would always just stroll through. There would be sometimes you would go out there and see folks. We might pick up some of that a rib shack, get you some tips and a fries, with that sauce on your fries, and just go out to the park and sit at the park and have to fight off the seagulls from trying to eat all of your food. And that was one of the things that I remember growing up as a kid. So now supposedly there is, and it appears to be a standstill. My understanding, and from what I've been told and what I've seen in print, is that there has been a number of renovations to the stage and to different areas that were not safe, different areas that were dilapidated, tearing down, reworking playgrounds, that kind of thing. And so there is an anticipation of this date open, but then there is a sentiment that I see, and my brother Jeffrey Bulls is out there, and he was saying, hey, they're not opening the park. They're not being honest about what's opening the park, all of that stuff. And I'm like kind of going like, what in the world is going on? I was not in a place to really dig into that. We had just lost Naisha, and I wanted her and her life and her legacy to be the preeminent voice or the sound that was on the airwaves and in the community. But now, hey, we got time today. So we're going to really dig in and find out what's going on. I was told by a city official that this park was going to open, that it's slated to open sometime this summer. There's a number of things that they're working on. If you know more, please let me know. As I said, I have not been able to diligently dig into this. Have spoken, to a couple of the council persons who all have had questions, who have all said that, they believe the park should be open. And I think that we're going to get there. Now, this is what I want to say, y'all. Now, as they talk about the parks being open and we get back and we are out there, I think that one of the things that's very important as well is that we as a community, we show that we appreciate the things that are done in our community, the things that we have, that we value the treasures that exist, such as Ojibwe, and we don't allow anyone to take advantage of that. So not dumping things, the crazy, no crazy situations taking place. All of those things, right? All of it is a part of Saginaw. And so it means that we as residents, those who love and appreciate this community, have to take ownership. And that means that when we say things see things happening, we have to say something about those things that are happening. So they must act right, stop the violence. Yeah, that is very true, because I think that that's an important way, but there's a role and a space for that. Whenever you have community spaces, you can always anticipate that violence will take place in some shape or form in those spaces. But that's not a reason to not allow a green space that is necessary for us to get out and just enjoy. to really open up and take space. So that's the thing that I want to talk about. One of the things that I want to talk about. When we come back, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about we're going to let Miss Amaya do her thing and give us a moment of inspiration. But we're going to talk about community collaboration. Recently, it was reported, and it's crazy. Dr. Roberts was so true. He told me the day before the announcement, he said, Kareem, everybody who thinks that they should be doing what you're doing, everybody who's ever had a desire to be in that space, people who love you, people who don't love you, people who just hear and want something to say, he says, get ready. It is all coming. And Dr. Roberts could not be more right since that announcement. But I'm so excited. And like I said, I got thick skin, so I can handle it. I've been doing this for a very long time. I want to talk with you all about community collaboration, about community partnerships, about how we bring corporate America, we get corporate sponsorships as well as grant dollars to do great things in our community. We're going to be right back after this quick commercial break.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Hear that? That's the sound of saving a good deal more when you shop with M-Perks at Meijer. Some delicious Cosmic Crisp apples, money saved. Meijer Essential Paper Towels, that's money saved. Savings, savings, savings. Because every dollar spent is also points earned in M-Perks, which you can use to save on your next grocery trip or up to $1 off per gallon on your next tank of gas. At Meijer, we work hard to help you save a good deal more for a whole lot less. That's bringing more good to life. Exclusions apply. See mperks.com for details.
Get it all at Garber Chevy Saginaw. Better prices, better selection, and a better overall experience. Save $15,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Equinox EV or lease a 26 Equinox for only $259 a month. All backed by Garber's low price guarantee. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw and see how you get it all at Garber. Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online at GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Offers good on select in-stock models plus tax and fees. Equinox EV, $15,000 off MSRP. Must be a retired courtesy transportation vehicle. Not all buyers or vehicles will qualify. Equinox LT front-wheel drive lease, 36 months, $3,983 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year with approved credit. Requires GM employee pricing and GM lease loyalty or lease conquest. See dealer for details. Offers end March 31st, 2026.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Rocket Grab Plus has you covered with great deals to local area businesses. Get half off to experiences, food, services, and more. Half off local hot spots like Small Town Scoops, Clayton Cleaners, Drift, Yogurt Yeti, K-Wall's Kitchen, Saginaw Jelly Ball, The Healing Room, and so much more. Keep checking RocketGrabPlus.com for new deals every week. Quantities are limited and they do sell out, so get yours before it's too late.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Imagine standing beneath a sky painted with glaciers, waterfalls, and midnight sun. I'd like to offer you that opportunity. Connoisseur Media, in cooperation with Colette Vacations, invites you to visit Iceland from June 2nd to June 11th, 2027. This exciting journey finds you flying to Reykjavik to begin this adventure. Soak in the Blue Lagoon, marvel at the Golden Circle and Gullfoss Falls. There are glaciers, volcanic lava fields, and whale watching too. Expert local guides, comfortable hotels, 15 meals, air and airport transfers included. Space is limited for this exciting trip, so email artlewis@wsgw.com for a brochure. There'll also be an in-person presentation from Colette's Ed McKenna on Thursday, March 19th. Details will be provided with your brochure. Request your information now. Iceland awaits.
So my friends over at Pure Talk have been sending me customer feedback from consumeraffairs.com, where thousands of people rate and review the top wireless providers. Here, for instance, is a nice note from James in Raleigh, North Carolina, who writes, quote, after hearing Mike Rowe's ad, we made the switch to Pure Talk, and we couldn't be happier. We went from spending $1,200 a year with T-Mobile to $420 with Pure Talk. Thanks, Mike. Switch today! ! Pure Talk is saving James $820 a year. And because he literally wrote the words switch today in capital letters with an exclamation point, I'm going to go ahead and dedicate this commercial to him. So folks, take it from James in Raleigh, North Carolina. Pure Talk can give you unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month on the same 5G service the big guys are overcharging you for. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. You'll also save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 to save an additional 50%. Thanks, James.
As a social influencer, my days can be busy. 4 a.m., I hit the gym. 4:32, protein smoothie. 5:08, save time and money bundling my home and auto insurance with Progressive. Wait, if I bundle and save time, what would I do then? Just sit here and reflect? Like, why am I qualified to influence anyone? And how those weights are hollow? And half of my followers are bots.
You could save time and money bundling your home and auto when you switch to Progressive. It's one less thing to worry about during your already busy day. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Spring fashion has arrived at Macy's stores, and Macy's VIP sale is the best time to save on all of it. Come in and find our best brands like Good American, Tommy Hilfiger, and Calvin Klein, all for 25% off. Plus, beauty and fragrance from Burberry, Prada, and more is now 15% off. Or Star Rewards members can earn Star money even faster on everything else. Only at Macy's VIP sale today. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
What's up, Saginaw? This is Kareem. We're back with more talk. Before the commercial break, one of our callers or one of our social media viewers posted that back in the day we had Church's Chicken, Mama Lily's Soul Food, Just a Lot, Trinity, and they were just talking about these places that they had. But when I think about it, we have a number of restaurants right now that are out there doing their thing, that are Black owned. How you feel about it may be a different thing, but I mean, we had those bomb places, but we still, Sarah's is really
the bomb.
Sarah's is knocking it out the park. I can't remember the lady's name. I always sit here and I talk to our caller, Miss Sarah, and I know that's not her name. But I have had the most consistent experience with that restaurant that I've had of any locally owned franchise or locally owned restaurant outside of franchises since it's open. So solid food, consistent. I still say they got the best pork chop that I've ever had from a restaurant. But everything is consistent. Solid peach cobbler, solid chocolate pie, solid German chocolate cake, solid banana pudding.
You are just a sweet person.
Yeah, I am. If you know me, okay, I have been since really 2005, January of 2005. I've been on a weight loss journey, and I've been really just trying to focus. And so from January through February 28th, almost 2 months. Well, it was 2 months. February 20th. I didn't have any sugar. I didn't need any sugar, any flour, any bread, any meat, nothing for that entire time. Our church then started a consecration, so it allowed everyone around me to be on that same rhythm. And so I lost a number of pounds during that period of time. That I just picked up and I said, I'm going to do workout every single day, Monday through Friday, at least 5 days a week, but trying to really hit 6. Doing that every single, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And it was a regimen, and I began to see gains. And so I thank God. In my mind, to me, I still look the same way I did before. So my eyes and my mind has to catch up, because you feel different. And you may know this from your own personal journey.
Yeah.
People look at me, people like, oh my God. I've had people walk past me like I didn't recognize who you were. And for me, it's not just been recently, but it's been a year and 3 months now of abstaining and going to the gym and working out. I see a lot of you all out there. Thank you for the encouragement, saying, hey, let's make it happen. Keep going. But who I am in my mind is not the same person that people see.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand fully. Like after my weight loss journey, since I had my surgery April of last year, so it's gonna be a year next month, and I still I see it. I don't.
Yeah, when I look in the mirror, you can see. I see that I look different.
Yeah, I can see the difference, but it's some things that I know. Like, okay, I need to work harder on it.
Yeah, right now. Oh my God! Don't give me any more sweets. I have my pain is it was my parents' fault, and I promise you, it was a scheme that Todd set up. But I grew up, and my parents, as a single kid, my mother was amazing. But I was always allowed to have my dessert first. I grew up having dessert first. So if I'm gonna have dessert. I'd rather eat the dessert and get it all in than to eat my meal and not have an appetite or space for a dessert. So that has always been my thing. And so now that I'm working out and I'm going every day, it's like I still eat dessert first. So I have to go through periods of time where I literally just cut sugar out of my plan. And my desire, or what I would really ultimately want to do, is to completely excise sugar from my meal plan, because it is poison. It's toxic.
Yeah.
But it tastes so good.
It tastes good.
Anyway, so Sarah's, when I go to Sarah's, that's what we were talking about. I didn't got sidetracked. But when I go to Sarah's, she has desserts that are so good that I can appreciate. And I'm sure there are other places out there, but I'm the kind of person, like, if I go to a place and it's solid, I ain't gotta go nowhere else.
No, I'm
like,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And also, so Right Spot, my cousin, Noah, Tasha, God bless you all. Still praying for your fam. So I can go there. So, they got chocolate chip cookies is the devil, but that's my thing. So they have good chocolate chip cookies. I could get a fried bologna sandwich. And I did not want to talk about food this whole thing, but I'm just telling y'all, fat boy on the inside, these are the things that go through my mind. You can transform your body. It says free your mind and the rest will follow. But I also have to now begin to think differently, even how I choose things. And right now I'm trying to stop. And I need my friends and family. Don't be like, boy, you crazy. You eat diverse. But to stop me and hold me accountable so that I can continue sit-ups and push-ups is where I'm at right now. Tomorrow is my first day. I'm really focusing on sit-ups and push-ups, that natural core burning, strengthening thing in here. But anyways, Miss Amaya is here because I'm going to talk about what we're going to talk about today. But Miss Amaya is here. She is here to give light and inspiration. She is the CEO of her own business, and she sells motivation and provides inspiration on the daily. I am so excited because Jeff, you're out there. I was having this conversation because I needed people to share with me what was the update on Ojibwe Island. We were talking about the importance and the need for green spaces in communities of color for health. We have the worst health records and history, high blood pressure, so hypertension is a problem, diabetes, and all these other things. So green spaces are necessary for our health. Give me an update if you can. But Miss Amaya comes, and I'm so glad that she is now a part of Help CVI. We put her in the schools, and she has been impacting these young women, empowering them, equipping them with tools of inspiration, challenging them to see themselves differently.
Yes.
And I have been able to see the transformation that many of the young women, because of your impact, we had been just doing boys. And when we brought the women in, the women also have been making impact. You have been a star in the space of connecting with these young women because this is a passion of yours. This is what you do. And so I get excited when I see you and I let you loose. It was funny because we did an in-school, what do you call it? Assembly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We did an in-school assembly at Thompson. And I think our entire staff, everybody came out for this, right?
Yeah, it was big. It was pretty big. It was nice. It was pretty big. It was nice. I think that was the first assembly that I ever been to that was just like that epic.
But it was what was interesting, what I thought was funny, and I'm coming to you, Jeff. I see you, big bro. Thank you for putting that in there. What was interesting was that I don't think I've been working in spaces with you since 2000. So this is 26 years.
Yeah.
And I've literally traveled from Los Angeles to DC. I've been up in Harlem with the Harlem School Zone and working with the Chamber of Commerce there in Texas and Houston and Dallas and all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that this was the first time that people had seen both you and I in that space.
Yep.
And I think what was so funny was that they were sitting there, they was like, whoa, because I feed off of that energy. Like, I'm on the radio, I'm a pastor, I'm all of those things, and I'm engaging. When I'm engaging and I'm teaching and training, that's a different thing. But when it's time to get hype in the assembly, like we just went crazy.
Yeah.
We went crazy.
It was amazing. Because first of all, kids are amazing. Like, you can just have a good time. Even when you sad or you mad, you can just look at a kid and just be like, come on, let's just have fun. Like, it's just a good thing. Just good energy. When we were at the assembly, They were hyped. They were like, "Oh yeah, I want
507 youth
like,
in this assembly.
And they were just so excited. They're like, "Oh, I want to be a part. I want to do this. I want to do that." And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. Let's do the TikTok dances. Like, come on."
but they enjoyed it, and being able to be effective and relevant was very, very important. I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you have for us in terms of inspiration on today? We want you to motivate our audience, those who may be going through, maybe stuck in a rut like Chuck and don't know how to get out. I want you to give them some inspiration.
Well, you hit right on the nose, actually, talking about, are you stuck? Are you just stuck? Why can't you move? Like, what is going on? You're scared. That's what it is. You're scared to move. You're scared to move to the next step. I'm the same way, because it's been times and conversations that I have had with you and other people like, hey, Amaya, it's time for you to get this together so you can move to do this, that, and the other. Don't be afraid. You already are the person that God has made you to be. It's just if you're ready to push past to that full potential, you have to give it, just surrender. Just give it all. Just give them your all. That's all you have to do. Just give them your all. Just, I understand if it's uncomfortable, and people always ask, like, where do I start? Where do I start? Sometimes you already have started. You just have to keep on going. Just keep on pushing through. Just keep on persevering. And that's what I have for you today. Just keep on pushing and you're going to get it.
All right. So I said, hey, if you don't know where to start, just start somewhere.
Yes.
The hardest thing about doing anything great is the start, right? Jeff, I certainly want to thank you for that caveat. He told us that there is some work that's going to be done, construction that is beginning. The goal is to finish by July 3rd, which is an apropos date, considering that the 4th of July is the time when everybody is outside. They're on the island. The fireworks are happening. It would be great to unveil a beautiful new Ojibwe Island with new staging and all of that other stuff. I'm excited. I'm excited to be getting outside this summer. But I want to just say thank you, Amaya, for that inspiration. Many times we struggle with how do we get going, and starting is always the hardest part of anything that you do. But I want to encourage you also to say this. There's a scripture that says that the ending of a thing is always better than the beginning thereof. And sometimes you have a rough start, or it's hard to get started. But if you keep on going, that potential energy is the ability that you have. And I get offended when people say you have so much potential. What that means is there's so many great qualities and abilities on the inside of you that are just sitting there going unused. But when you take your potential energy and you begin to move, that potential energy becomes kinetic energy. And kinetic energy, an object or something that is in movement, a force that is in movement, continues to stay in movement. It's one of those laws of thermodynamics that we use, of motion, laws of motion. Objects in motion stay in motion. Don't lose your motion. Now, I'm going to switch over, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit. The HELP Community Violence Intervention Program, HELP Healing Engagement, Love and Presence Community Violence Intervention Program recently was announced by our U.S. Congresswoman that we received a very strong support of $700,000, and we're super duper grateful. And what I want to say, people are like, "Ooh, you got this money, ooh," but what folks don't realize, and it's funny because so many people don't understand the world of grants, or public or federal funding, and so I want to kind of just give some insight. First of all, I want to say that our organization has a fiduciary responsibility for those funds. They were awarded to our organization. However, those dollars, the way that I see it, and I always say this about grant dollars that come in, they belong to the community, whose statistics, whose data was used in order to secure those funds. I've been saying this forever. I say that about the medical diamond that's coming in. There has to be a place and a space carved out intentionally, some intentionality used on people that the demographics were used to secure any type of funding, because we understand that the ALICE population, asset limited, income constrained, employed, the working poor essentially, are a part of the reason why these dollars are available, economic development dollars. And so it's important that as we build these things out, as we talk about affordable housing, which is a new buzzword that is of the last 5 years or so, those dollars are coming in based upon the need of the community, based upon the Alice population. And so it's important that whatever work that we do, whatever we build, even if it's with Lego blocks, it's important that we keep in mind the population that those dollars were presented and earned or received by, right?
Yeah.
So it means that we don't take dollars for a community that is largely under the national average for poverty, and we take those dollars and then we create something for a better, a future, a newer population that excludes our current population. And I've said that so many times before, and I'm going to continue to say it. So the dollars that we receive from help from our federal government. Now, people are like, "Oh, what are you going to do?" And you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. But I need y'all to understand that you do not get federal spending dollars, and you definitely do not get grant dollars without there already being a plan that has been submitted for that. Now, what's different about the federal dollars is that there was an idea and a project that we had to kind of come up with, some parameters. And so it's a little bit different in that response. But the dollars in terms of how they'll be spent are kind of accounted for. What is in that is accounted for. But where we are looking to turn is we're looking to turn to our community to say, hey, this is what we think. This is what we presented. This is what it has been made available for us. How do you think we need to implement these strategies? What do you think we need to be aware of, and how can we best serve the needs of our community? And I think that that's the most important thing. So as we begin to really solidify, and I'm going to tell you this funding was actually filed like in May of 2023. So this is almost April of 2026. So we're talking work that was done when we first started this organization. And I was looking at where we were hoping to be and targets that I believe that we could meet. And we've been able to successfully do those things. So this funding has been in play for a very long time. Our friend, who's no longer in the same position that he was as our U.S. Congressman, Dan Kildee, was the person who actually reached out and said, Kareem, I believe that this is viable. We had conversations with Mayor Moore and with the chief of police. He goes, what you're planning to do is a viable program. This is what we need. So I put in, we wrote that thing up. Dear friend, Andrea Foster out there, who's no longer working. When Kildee left, she also left that space. And then what happened is when McDonald Rivet came in, she said, Kareem, I recognize that your group had some funding that was there. And so I would like to pick it up, be a champion to that, and get that across the line. And so that is what took place. And so when people ask me like, hey, I sometimes had to let me go back and remember what we were doing and what specifically was in there, because some things that we were doing over the course of that 3 years, we have been blessed to be able to implement. We have also had great partners out there with Burn Skip and the Michigan Coalition of Law Enforcement. And they have been able to help us to really do some things, to make some of the things and desires that we wanted to come to pass. And so we are going to make sure that the community is aware of what's happening. I want to take a quick break. I hope that at the end, Jimmy says, I hope that at the end, it won't be about the money, only the results. Yes. And Jimmy, for us, that's what it's always been. When we started this journey, there was no money. The money that we were using was the money out of our pockets. And people don't realize that in many of the grant dollars that we were using, we had to pay those dollars and be reimbursed for the work that was being done. And the great thing is that we have amazing fiduciaries. And what that means is I understand that in our community, and so some of the conversation comes from, oh, there's always a scandal when dollars. But what we've done is we have fiduciaries that are responsible for making sure that what we say this money is going to be used for, that's what that money is being used for. they have oversight and make sure that we're doing exactly what we're supposed to with the dollars. This is not money that's going into our pockets, but this is money that we have people and accountants and folks that we are accountable for, that we have FSRs, financial service reports, as well as programming reports that we do monthly, quarterly, annually, and we make sure that we are every I is dotted, every T is crossed. There's copies and receipts and all of those things that people really don't understand how much work goes into this work. I want to thank you, my brother Jimmy out there, also Michael Ball, City Councilman, doing such amazing work. I'm so excited about the rites of passage that we're getting ready to really build out with the men of the community. But I want to just continue to say to you guys that as we do this work, it is so vitally important that we really are hearing the voices of our community. Many of you that are out there have ideas that no one has ever listened to. You have thoughts on how we can engage that are very important. This is what I want to say. I'm always a person who's going to challenge. Stop talking in silos. Stop talking what you would do and get in the game. Like really, we are at a point and we are an organization that really listens. We like to do community listening sessions and listen to what people have to say. There have been some amazing conversations and thoughts from folks who are in the community and said, hey, I want to encourage you to do this. I've had this thought or this idea. And my thought is, hey, let's get together. How can we make this happen? And let's do it for our community. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back from that break, I want to really just kind of talk about how we can work with not only our federal government, our state government, local entities, but how do we bring in partnerships with corporate entities? That's one of the things that people have always said. Pastor Kareem, how do you get corporations to connect and to buy into the work that you're doing in our community? Sticks, they don't go away. We'll be back with more Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Turn your tax refund into a new kitchen with Menards. Make this the year you check that project off the list. Renovate your space with new cabinets from Cardell. They're ready to install and come in a variety of styles and finishes with free shipping to your home. Visit our kitchen showrooms in store or go to menards.com for free estimates today. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for all of our hot deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
Savings! Get your savings here! Hot, fresh savings at Showcase Mitsubishi.
Trade and upgrade to a new Mitsubishi and get massive savings during the spring trading sales event going on now at Showcase Mitsubishi Bay City. Right now, get up to $7,500 off MSRP on all new 2025 Outlander third row all-wheel drive SUVs with no payments for 90 days or 0% for 72 months. With the Showcase Mitsubishi 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Still making payments on your current vehicle and want out early? Showcase Mitsubishi will push hard to help you escape from your trade so you can upgrade to a new Mitsubishi for less. And our motivated finance team will work hard to get you approved today at showcasemitsubishi.com with no effect on your credit score. Get huge savings today on America's best back vehicles and exceptional trade-in values at Showcase Mitsubishi Bay City, the #1 Mitsubishi dealer in Michigan for customer experience 5 years in a row.
Interest accrues from date of sale. 0 APR is $13.89 per thousand finance with approved credit. Offers not combined.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Eat, drink, and groove with this week's deal to beat Nicks in Midland with a $50 certificate for only $25. Whether you're looking for a laid-back lunch or dinner or just drinks, you'll find good food, good drinks, and good service in a warm, inviting atmosphere. Beat Nicks is located in downtown Midland and is bringing you this week's half-off deal. Head on over to RocketGrabPlus.com to snag yours before it sells out.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Get ready for a fun-filled day at Our Kids World. Join us Saturday, April 4th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Fashion Square Mall for an exciting family event packed with activities for kids of all ages. This year's event is sponsored by Francis Ray Academy and powered by Stormmaster Exteriors. And the best part, admission is completely free. Kids can take part in an Easter egg hunt presented by United Financial Credit Union. Snap photos with the Easter Bunny thanks to Audio Central Alarm on the Crane's L&M Appliance stage, and jump into the fun with bounce houses from Bouncing Bellas. Be sure to stop by the Saginaw Community Foundation nonprofit area to learn about amazing local organizations making a difference in our community. Plus, so many booths throughout the event with fun activities, prizes to win, and plenty for the whole family to discover. And don't forget, the first 100 kids receive a special Easter treat, so arrive early. Bring the whole family for a day of Easter fun at Our Kids World, happening Saturday, April 4th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Fashion Square Mall. We can't wait to see you there.
Kohl's Spring Savings event is kind of like sunshine. The deals are glowing, dazzling, tempting to stare directly at in awe. And with prices like these, looking away is a real challenge. You can get 40% off kitchen appliances, teas for just $7.99 and more, plus an extra 50% off clearance. Yep, Kohl's Spring Savings are looking bright. Shop them at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles, offers end March 22nd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
I wanted a new color printer to add pizzazz to my prints.
Ooh, pizzazz can be pricey.
Well, now at Staples, you get up to 30% off select HP printers.
30% off HP?
Yeah, I saved $120 on an HP Smart Tank 6001 with up to 3 years of ink included.
Why, that could be the last printer you'll ever need.
Could be.
Shop your local Staples today for big savings on HP.
That was easy.
Available in-store, online, or on the app. It's 404 exclusions apply.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1.
Hey, the Screamer, we're back with more of Straight Talk. And I am here with Ms. Amaya Bradley. I told you we're going to have this conversation, and I'm just going to throw this out here, and I'm going to share this with you, and then we'll investigate this as we move forward. A part of what I did for my time when I was working with the NBA and NBA athletes was working with community and corporate partnerships. A part of that work meant that endorsement opportunities, public appearances, corporate sponsorships was a part of the work that I would do. And a part of that work meant understanding the value positioning that the individuals that you were working with had, what they brought to the table, what was something that we don't hear a lot about, but in radio and television, what was their Q factor in terms of how people received them. And we would really have to investigate and really study companies that we were interested in working with. And we would go and really scour information, press releases that the company had over the past 5 to 10 years. We were looking at where they invested money, the types of things that they engaged in. And when we found those companies that had synergies with the things that we wanted to do, and now it's so much easier because every company has a website. And when you go to that website, you can go and look at their corporate funding or their corporate values. I always say core values or principles that the company shares gives you an indication of what that company values. And then we would basically find the places that we operated with that were in alignment with the core values or the vision of that company, and we would engage. And I'm going to tell you this, I got to a place that what I realized is many of us call and we'll call a secretary like, hey, I would like to speak to someone about a sponsorship opportunity. And I'll be like, good luck with that. One of the things that a mentor told me is that you never really engage at an in-depth level with anyone who cannot give you a yes or a no. And so that meant being able to position yourself and connect or find yourself in places where these individuals were, which meant that you might have to do some work. You might have to study which restaurants they frequent, what's on their social media platforms, where are they showing up to speak. And then when you get into those places, we always call it working the room, and we have to have a group of business cards, and we want everyone in the room to have your business card because you want everybody. But that is not really, I don't believe in working the room. I believe in making connections that matter. And so you go into a place with an understanding of what success looks like for me. I know individuals, I know profiles, I know what they've done, I know impact that they've made in the spaces that they've made them. And so you have to have a place to engage and have meaningful conversation. And what I've learned is that people who are of high value, high net worth, high wealth, and or extreme influence are always willing to share the information that they have. So that is a very important thing to know. So you find out everything that you can. You impress them with your knowledge of what they are, what they've done, what they've accomplished. And then some people say, "Oh, you're setting them up. Oh, it's not real." No, it is real. You have to be honest in your communication. At the end of the day, partnerships are built off of relationship. And so it's important that you be an authentic person, that you are honest, that you're true. And as you're finding out about these people, these are people that you have find that have value for you, not just in this moment, but in the future. So as you propose, you take that information, you share that information, you commit to everything, or you complete everything that you commit to. If you say that you're going to follow up on Monday at 3 p.m., you follow up Monday at 3 p.m. You have to build a track record of being exceptional, being consistent, and being committed to your word. Now, I say that because those same skills, I brought those same skills with me. And so it means that whenever you say that you're going to do something, you have to be a man or woman of your word. Your word has to mean something. And when you begin to build a reputation that what you say you're going to do, you produce. When we started the Dow Treasure Academy, I went before Dow's board. I say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what this is how what I'm going to do is going to be different. This is what I can do for the company. This is the impact that it will make for those that are impacted. And this is what this will mean moving forward. And we have to make sure that we're able to do that. That first cohort came out, students graduated. 99% of them had full ride scholarships. They were doing amazing things. Some of them now have opportunities and are working with the Dow Chemical Company. There is an internship opportunity that's coming for one of those young men that has been interviewing. But you've got to be able to follow through on what you said that you were going to do. Jimmy said, I'd love it if you invested in groups that can do more of the good stuff they already do instead of groups with good ideas on what they hope to do. Oh my gosh.
That was good.
That was good. You know, Jimmy, that same sentiment came up to me when the whole conversation about ARPA dollars came up. I could not understand how we could, because you don't have to police. If people have shown a track record of being able to utilize funds, of being honest and having integrity with how those funds were spent, making an impact, showing you the pathway to impact. I don't do anything unless I can show you what it is, the trail that we've traveled, and the impact that we've made. That's why with each grant that we've worked with, and even with these dollars, I partner myself with a research team or a grant evaluation team. And their whole job is to make sure that every target that I make is being put into place. Everything that we said in our initial proposal is being implemented, and they're able to go back, look at those data, look at the data points. We're doing pre-assessments, we're doing mid-assessments and post-assessments, so that we can begin to adequately tell this conversation. This is so very important. So when we were talking about those ARPA dollars, I was like, why not work with the institutions that exist, that have functioned, that have shown you their impact, that have shown you that they are meeting the needs of that community, and invest more into those institutions instead of ideas. Oh, I hope, because what happens is when those dollars are gone, then how do you become sustainable? And that's another thing that in our community, as we talk about community and corporate partnerships and we talk about funding opportunities, how are you going to become sustainable? How do we move past this initial investment to really become sustainable? Now, if you are already in existence, as you were talking, Jimmy, then that means that you're something that we can build upon. That's something you have a reputation that we can bank upon. And people like things that are bankable. Corporations want to know that you can be viable. We want to invest and not know that 3 years down the road, what we invested in no longer exists. So that becomes a very important part of what we need to do. I've stirred up some excitement here. Jeffrey Bulls, the ARPA process was never intended to get real outcomes. Sadly, it was only a smokescreen to shift dollars to city projects and interests. That is my brother's opinion. He said it and he's standing by it. He said
what he said.
Amen. All right. So I'm extremely excited about that. But I do want to give a couple of seconds. Amaya is not just doing amazing work in the schools. with young women and young men in our schools. And she's been working at our middle school and our elementary school level, her natural place of influence. I want you to share a little bit about Girl, You Make Things Happen. She is a mentee. So I bring her on the radio because she's a younger voice. And I believe in the power of mentorship, and I believe in the power of succession, and that we have to prepare individuals. She's not the only one that's been here before, but she is one of those young people that say, hey, I have an interest here. So bring her in, get her acclimated to the space, show her how this is done. And then when you move, and you got to know when your time is up, that you're able to pass the torch, and that it continues to go on. It grows brighter and stronger after you have passed the torch off. I want you to talk a little bit about Girl, You Make Things Happen, because it's coming and I'm excited.
So, Girl, You Make Things Happen. It's a girls' conference coming up April 18th. I'm so excited. I don't know if you guys can see how excited I am, but I'm
We think you might be a little excited.
I'm just a little bit excited. Because this year is very, very different. And
How is it different?
here we go. So this year is different because I'm allowing mothers to have a class, as well as fathers are able to come to the conference. And it's going to be a Daddy's Little Girl session where actually Pastor K will be speaking. Yes.
Yeah. So I was saying to her that I think it's important for mature women to pour into these young girls, but just as young boys who have fathers who have been absent, little girls grow up with holes in their hearts in the shape of their fathers, to steal a plug from Brian Pruitt. And they grow up with this void in the shape of their father that has never been filled. So Daddy's Little Girl is about speaking words of wisdom, affirmation, encouragement into the lives of young women. So I challenge brothers who have daughters, who, if you've ever raised a daughter, I have raised two daughters from 6 months to now she's 22. People don't know these things about me. Living in my home, going to PTA conference. If you're a teacher, you know these things have happened. And so I think it's important for fathers to realize that not only are you important to the image and the upbringing of that son, but your impact in the life of a daughter determines if she's going to end up with a Ray Ray, if that's your name. I don't mean anything by it. It's just a name. Jaquan. No, you know what I'm saying? But you're coming out there and they have respect for themselves, that they understand that their value. A father should give his daughter the first piece of jewelry. He should allow her to know that she is a queen, puts her on queen status, and that when a man comes in or a boy comes in and he whispers sweet nothings in her ear, she'll be like, my daddy already told me that.
Yep.
But go ahead.
Yep. And that's really what that's all about. And I'm excited about that, to encourage those fathers, and not just fathers, because it's some young girls that doesn't have a father, like you were saying. If you're that uncle or that big brother,
Maya is my adopt. She is. I knew Maya when she was born. Her mother and I were great friends. So when Maya was born, I've always been a constant presence in her life. Yes. She calls me dad, and I try to be there for her in every way possibly that I can. We have those conversations about the little knucklehead boys, but how she shows up, how she presents herself. Yeah. And it's an important part of the growing process. And I think it's super important. But why don't you tell us some of the other topics and other people, presenters that you're going to have available?
We have Alethea Nichols-Taylor. She'll be speaking to those mothers, navigating the relationship with our daughters. We also have my mom, who'll be speaking to the 4th and 5th graders, because this year is not just for 7th through 12th graders. I opened it up to the younger group because I have been making an impact with those younger girls at Arthur Eddy and all the other schools that we have been impact at. I wanted to make sure that they had something as well. And I had parents reach out to me last year like, hey, I want my kid to come, but
registration is already jumping.
Yeah. And it is. It's like just coming in hot, and I'm like, yes. But my mom will be speaking to those young girls from 4th to 5th grade. Look at yourself in the mirror. And then we have Madison Duncan from Lansing, Michigan. She will be speaking to the middle school group. And then we also have Miss Sandra Ware from Detroit. She'll be speaking to the high school group as
Power
well.
to dream.
Yep. So it's going to be a great conference. I'm excited. It's April 18th at the Horizons Conference Center from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and registration starts at 9.
How do they register online?
They can register at www.growinconfidence.org.
You know, we don't do www. Date yourself. We do that. Growinconfidence.org. I thought she would know that. I want to thank you guys for continually tuning in to our conversation here. We will be back next week, and hopefully we'll have Miss Janae Lamar. We're going to continue through that book, Single. Yes, I think that's what it was. Single Good. And so I finally got through the book. I'm ready to have a conversation with her. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and one another. God bless you, grace, and peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on this show by the host